If you got a robot vacuum just a few years ago and then gave up on it because you thought it was no good, I am here to tell you that things have changed significantly since then and why you should get a robot vacuum today, specifically the Narwhal Flow 2. Now I'm gonna start this video off by giving you some spoilers right up front because I don't like clickbait, but the reason that I decided to partner with Narwhal for this video is specifically around the mop on this model. Now mopping robot vacuums have been out for ages, but this mop pad is a real-time self-cleaning track mop that can drain itself while cleaning the floor. When I think roller, I think nice and skinny, you're not getting much contact on the ground, and that's it. But this one is elongated, and so it's getting nice surface area coverage, and spoiler alert, it works exceptionally well. Mopping robot vacuums typically struggle a bunch when I put this flour down on the floor, but this model cleans that track mop as it's mopping, and you'll see here that there's no flour in the mop pad whatsoever. And the mop even kicks out to the side to get in little nooks and crannies and whatnot. The obstacle avoidance is wonderful. The noise level is very low in the standard suction, and it's nice and quick. It's faster than the other vacuums that I've been testing around my house. And I have a general rule when it comes to robot vacuums. I get asked all the time, what's the best robot vacuum? Which one should I get? And I give this unsatisfactory answer, and that it's the one that's going to run the most in your home with the least amount of maintenance. A lot of people will focus on suction tests and mop tests and all this stuff, and that's great and important. But the other thing is going to be, well, how often does the base fill up? Is the base able to pull all the debris out of the vacuum? Does the filter clog inside the vacuum? Because you could have this thing running for weeks on end, not realizing that it's not really picking anything up because that filter is clogged or the base is full or something like that. So don't get caught up on just the suction amount or just the obstacle avoidance. It's the one that can run in your home. And one of the most important things about running in your home is not getting stuck on things. And on the Narwhal Flow 2, their obstacle avoidance system is called the Narmind Pro Autonomous System. What does that mean? I will just sum it up for you here. It's very good. Is it perfect? No. But they do claim that it will learn your house and get better over time. Even in my preliminary testing, it is exceptionally good, on par with the best that I've seen in my home. They claim that it can detect unlimited objects, and one of the neat things about it, which I've seen in action, is depending on what it thinks the object is, that will determine how close or far away the robot vacuum will get from that item. So if it's a low threat, it'll get very close, like 8 millimeters away. And if it thinks it's really unsure or it's a big threat, then it'll stay like 70 millimeters away from that item. Well, how is it doing this? It's pretty unique. I haven't seen this on many models, but it does have LiDAR and cameras, which most robot vacuums have today. They smartly put the LiDAR unit on the back of the robot so that it's not on the top, so the clearance is very good on this robot vacuum. It's getting under my toe kick, which a lot of robot vacuums struggle with. Additionally, it has the 2 cameras on the front. If there's not enough ambient light, it'll use its light on the robot vacuum to light up so that it can see. So it's got those 2 cameras and the LiDAR on the back, and it does a great job. Now that Narmind Pro Autonomous System doesn't just do the obstacle avoidance, it also can handle the cleaning for you. So you can have it automatically clean, or you can manually select, hey, I want you to vacuum mop, I want the mop to be this wet, or you can have it do it for you. So it has this adaptive smart cleaning. It has different strategies for wet and dry debris and for like a heavy and light mess as well. It can also do this really neat thing called dual direction mopping, where it can reverse over something so it's not getting the side brush into that mess first, just the mop, and then it'll do a forward pass as well, which is pretty cool. And something that's really gonna take this obstacle avoidance to the next level is that if it finds an object that it doesn't know what it is, it'll actually send it to the cloud and use AI to try to detect what it is, and then that will be fed back to the robot so it can make a decision on what to do about that object. And if you have pets, it has an auto pet cleaning zone that it can detect. So if you have animals, it's gonna know that, it'll detect that, and it'll adjust the cleaning based on that. And I've said this for years, but especially if you have animals that shed, you absolutely need a robot vacuum. Also, side note here, with those dual cameras in the front, it even has like kind of like a sentry mode, or you can manually drive this thing. So if you're not home and you wanna see around your house, you have to turn this feature on, but once it's on, you can actually drive it around in the app to just kind of look around your house, or you can have it go find your pets, which is pretty neat. So let's get back to that mop, because that's the thing that I'm probably most excited about. Obviously, first and foremost, we want this thing not to get stuck anywhere, which it does an excellent job not getting stuck. To date, this thing has not got hung up at all. It always makes it back to its base, and it has great clearance for high threshold. But let's get back to the mop, because I think that's where this thing shines. Now, it's gonna heat that water to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. It has 2 water tanks, which I'll touch on in just a second. It can get under a 1/4 inch away from objects to mop around them. So 0.19 inches is how close it can get. This is adjustable, but it can push down with up to 12 newtons of force. So with those 2 water tanks, it's got a clean and a dirty water tank. With the clean one, it's gonna be adding clean water to that roller as it's scrubbing across your floor with that downward force. And also it has a scraper that is touching the roller at all times to make sure it's getting the dirty debris off of that roller, so it's not just spreading things around. And then every so often, depending on how you set it up in the app, it's gonna go back to the base station and it's gonna wash that mop, it's gonna empty out its dirty water, add more clean water, and then continue right where it left off. And one thing I've been impressed with versus other robot vacuums that I've tested is that the water tanks seem to last much longer on this one. It seems to be very efficient with the water that it's using and the cleaning that it's doing in the base, and it's still getting the floors very clean. So I'm able to actually get a full mopping of my house with just 1 clean water tank. Other makes and models, I'm having to actually do more than 1 clean water tank, so it cannot completely mop my house without me having to intervene. You just empty the dirty water tank and fill the clean water tank. This is usually where I get a ton of hate, where people are like, why are you emptying the dirty water tank in your sink and not your toilet? And honestly, I haven't really thought about it, but the sink is closest to where I keep my robot vacuums and the toilet is far away, so that is why. Now, I gotta touch on some other things here because there's plenty more about this. We could just go on and on. On its maximum setting, it can get to 30,000 pascals of suction. Now, of course, this thing can vacuum and mop. You can set it up in the app to vacuum or vacuum and mop or vacuum then mop or just mop. It is fully customizable. One of the things that you can set is for it to go vacuum all of like your rugs and carpets first, then it'll get the mop wet so it doesn't accidentally drag a wet mop over your deep nap carpet or rug, even though it does lift the mop up. But just to be extra careful that it's not going to do that, that is a setting. I've turned that setting off. I don't need it. All my rugs and stuff are very low nap, so it's fine there. Of course, it has quick mapping, so as soon as you get this thing out of the box, you can just hit start and it'll do this true color map of your home, which is really nice. It's using that LiDAR and those cameras to do that. And it has a 7,000 milliamp hour battery, which may not mean a ton to you, but on the standard suction and the mopping, it can get through about 75% of my house on 1 charge. It goes back to the base. I have a 2,400 square foot house. It'll charge up and then it'll finish it off. It can vacuum the whole thing without going back to the base, but the mop and the vacuum together takes more battery, of course. And it does have fast charging. It's using this AI to try to tune, hey, how much battery should we charge? It's trying to just extend the battery life of this robot vacuum, which is a nice feature. I have to say that in the standard mode, that's mostly how I run robot vacuums. I don't want to hear that crazy high vacuum that's sucking like crazy. I just want standard mode for vacuuming and for mopping, and this thing is the quietest that I've tested so far, and it still picks up everything that we want it to. I now have 3 kids that are eating around our table, and it's disgusting under that thing, and I will have it run in a zone after a meal, and it's in that standard mode. It's very quiet, and it'll go and it'll just vacuum up all that stuff and it'll empty it right into the bin, which is phenomenal. I've been talking so much about all the other features. I didn't even really get to talk yet about the base station. It is a really clean looking base station. I don't care so much what they look like. My wife very much cares. This one is very sleek, modern looking, has this nice little LED on the front, so you know kind of what the vacuum is currently doing based on what that LED is actually doing, which is nice that you can just glance at it. The app is great. One of my favorite things about it are the shortcuts. Instead of like going into the app and then selecting these rooms that you want to do or doing a schedule, you can have something like, for instance, for me, every time I leave the home, I basically want to vacuum my living room. And so I can't necessarily set a schedule because we all have to be leaving together. So what I love about this is that I can just set this up as a shortcut, and then when we leave, I can just open the app real quick, tap that little shortcut button, and it knows I have 2 set up. One is to vacuum and mop, and the other one is just to vacuum. So kind of depending on what it looks like in there, then I will have it do that as we leave, which is a great little feature in the app. So far, we have been loving this robot vacuum. So if you're interested, if you're somebody who's never had one before, or you had one that's just a few years old, definitely give this one a look. Links will be in the description below. As always, thank you so much for watching Break It Yourself. I know you've got like zillions of other channels that have taken a look at this robot vacuum and you decided to watch this one. I am very appreciative for that. As always, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and we will see you next time.